What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. Today is day 7 of 12 of our Friday the 13th marathon, where I review a Friday the 13th movie every single day of the month leading up to the 13th, where I will do my complete franchise ranking. Anyways, let's hop right into this one. We're going to talk about 1988's Friday the 13th Part 7, A New Blood. And this is the first film we're going to have since the Tommy Jarvis trilogy, when things start to get a little weird here, and this is also known for being the first film out of 4 that features Kane Hodder, which is what a lot of people think as the main Jason, which is funny. Though he is the only person to play Jason more than once, he plays it 4 times, he didn't become Jason until Part 7 in 1988, towards the downfall of the franchise. But like I said, things are going to get pretty weird from here. This one's a lot different. I appreciate them for being ambitious. But after this one, we're going to see Jason in Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell, Jason in Space, Jason vs. Freddy, then the remake. So I thought some of these films were kind of repetitive in a lot of ways, and this one is no different, with a bit of a different element in it. But anyways, we'll get right into the movie, where it starts off with a little montage recapping all the previous films, which is the first time we've seen something like that since Part 5, I believe. They do a pretty good job with that. They got the crazy guy from Part 1 and 2 doing the commentary, the voiceover, like what, Ralph was his name, or is that just something I'm coming up with in my head? Crazy Ralph. But we're gonna have our main character Tina, and it starts off with a flashback 10 years prior to when she was a kid, and she's living in an abusive home. At least it comes off that way in her little cabin on Camp Crystal Lake. She runs out of the house as her dad's screaming at her mom. She's yelling, cut it off, you've been drinking too much, and you hear her slap her. So her dad's drinking and beating the shit out of her mom, and she runs off and hops into this little fisherman boat and drives it out, rides it out like 20, 30 feet. The dad comes chasing out, Tina, come back inside and whatnot. She says, no, I hate you. I hope you die. And this is the first deal where we see in the opening of the movie that she has like some kind of telekinesis, kind of like Carrie, where she can control stuff with her mind. And she makes the whole dock on top of him completely fall down and crush him. And he falls and dies beneath the lake. And then we cut to 10 years later when she's 17, and she's heading back up to her old home to meet her psychiatrist and everything. And they're going to do some tests on her and whatnot. Bad News Cruz is the name of the psychiatrist, which is funny. If you guys know anything about me, if you follow the channel, I am an independent wrestler out of Michigan, Dioro Roberto Cruz. That's one of my monikers I've had over the years, Bad News Cruz. So I perked up when I heard that. Oh, good name, But anyways, and forgive me, guys, if I I'm a little long-winded in this. I work outside, and it rained for 10 hours last night at work yesterday, so I feel a bit congested, but, the show must go on. I got to get these reviews out. I want to get them finished. We're on the home stretch right here, but anyways, we lead up to current day, where she's going to meet with the psychiatrist, like I said, Bad News Cruz. We got 2 houses right next to him, similar as in Part 4, and you know what's happening in the other one. We got a bunch of teenagers that are partying, none of them very interesting. But we meet, the love interest here in the beginning. She's walking in the house. Her suitcase comes undone. All her clothes comes out. And this guy comes to help her in his nicest denim jacket. And, they kind of got a thing. Later on in the movie, she's a little bit hesitant at first. And, like I said, there's some characters next door. There's nothing too special. They're all pretty stereotypical characters. We got something newer that isn't as common in a lot of these Friday the 13th movies. In the next couple is like the bitch character that just totally hates the final girl. But anyways, nothing too memorable about these characters. We got like, I guess the love interest guy would be kind of the jock. We got the stoner, the nerd, the couple that's fighting. The 2 girls are after the one stoner guy, and then the bitch. So we got like 8 characters, and they're all up north waiting for their cousin to come up, the main guy's cousin to come up to throw him like a birthday party. And this is the guy who plays Tommy in Night of the Living Dead 1990, one of my very favorite horror movies. But anyways, when Tina gets to this place, she's doing some tests with Bad News Cruz, goes out to the dock, and she's kind of reminiscing about her dad dying, and says, I wish you'd come back. And I guess that translates to Jason. Her telekinesis brings him back to life. He snaps off from the chain, which I don't understand. If she brings him back, if he never dies, if he's a zombie, and he gets how is he brought back to life? And if he's brought back to life and could just break the chain, why couldn't he have just done that in the first place? Maybe the chain rusted? I don't know. But anyways, Jason comes out of the water, and she faints when she sees him, and by the time she wakes up, he's gone. This is Jason in full zombie mode, telekinesis with teleportation. Shit, easy for me to say. This is going to be an easy one to get through, as you guys can see. But like I said, first one with Kane Hodder, and he looks absolutely amazing in this. Not my favorite Jason look. I know a lot of people really like the zombified look. I think it's good that they changed it up. My favorite look is probably, let's say 5. Let's say 4 or 6. 6 is probably prime Jason, but he's all fucking nasty and got mold and water all over him. His clothes are all ripped up. He's got his spine showing, like a straight Skeletor. And I love the way Kane Hodder plays this character. But anyways, the meat and potatoes of this story, there's not much to it. It's a pretty generic Friday the 13th movie, except with the telekinesis, Jason versus Carrie kind of deal. It shows a lot of deals with her doing tests with this scientist and whatnot. And the lead guy, the love interest to Tina, is bringing her over to the party to try to introduce her to everybody. And the bitchy girl is jealous of her because she likes the guy. And there's some animosity there. I mean, there's a little bit of storytelling in between these characters, nothing special. Them kind of like wondering where the cousin's at. The one couple's fighting. The two girls kind of fighting after the stoner guy. The bitchy girl kind of plays a trick on the science fiction nerd dude to make the other guy jealous. There's not really much about this movie that I really like in terms of the story. And it kind of leads into the ongoing story of the mother finds out that the scientist or the therapist is kind of using her daughter Tina as like a science experiment in one way, for lack of better words. He's kind of exploiting her in this way, Bad News Cruises. So there's that kind of issue there. And Tina kind of has this telekinesis power where she can like see things that had happened. So she sees the death of this guy's cousin. I'm just going to call him Tommy because that's what he was in Night of Living Dead 1990. But she's trying to explain to everybody that she sees all these visions and nobody believes her until later on in the movie, Tina eventually leads him to find his dead cousin and whatnot. I know I'm jumping around, but there's not really much to do with this movie besides the kills in the third act. But I'll get to the kills right here. They're okay. They're not what I would like with like how gory they are and everything. But I guess the MPAA kind of really tore this movie apart. And a lot of things were supposed to be a lot more brutal. But, you know, there is a lot of good kills in here. And some that aren't as good are better because less is more sometimes, I guess. I mean, this whole movie's pretty much bouncing back and forth between Tina trying to be sociable with these kids over there with her love interest, I guess more his way than hers. She doesn't seem too into him necessarily. The layers with her sessions with a psychiatrist and his bullshit he's working into, and then just the rapid kills by Jason. So that's pretty much this movie in a nutshell. So, I mean, I guess I can't be too mad about them trying something different because in this sense, it could be a bit lackluster in times. This isn't one of my favorites, but yeah, Kane Hodder. Let me just talk about Kane Hodder. He's amazing in this. I wouldn't say he's my favorite Jason, but he's definitely really, really good. And I forgot how great he was until I rewatched this movie. And some of these kills are really fun and iconic. You know, he kills the cousin and his girlfriend in the woods in the very beginning with like a tent stake through the chest and everything. Rips apart Tom, I'm going to call him, you know. We got a scene where there's this nerdy guy with this hot chick. She's going skinny dipping, which this is some of the most full frontal nudity they show when she's in the water. I'm pretty sure they show like below the waist. So that's a lot there. Very good looking woman, by the way. But kills the guy on shore with the axe to the face, I believe. And they don't show it, but the look afterwards is pretty brutal. It looks like a zipper up the head when the girl comes above the water. She sees him on shore, and like that's pretty good. Like they don't show a lot of gore in here, but you know they'll do the classic like hit with the kill and then show the after effects, which some of the after effects are actually pretty cool. And the girl that's skinny dipping gets kind of a nice kill where Jason teleports into the water and pulls her underneath water, and it's kind of like reminiscent of Jaws, so I kind of appreciated that. That was kind of fun. We get the couple that's arguing gets killed. The one girl gets like a party blower thing like through the eye. The guy gets his head completely crushed, which apparently the real version of that was way more brutal. This has one of the best kills in the whole franchise in it when Kane Hodder picks up the girl in the sleeping bag and just smashes her against the tree one time. That's pretty good right there. That's we got a stereotypical scene where the girl from upstairs, one of the girls that's sleeping with the stoner guy, gets thrown through a window. It can't be a Friday the 13th movie without somebody getting chucked out of a window, but, you know, this all kind of culminates to when the mom finds out that the therapist is kind of using the daughter, and she confronts him. They're running through the woods where the therapist kind of like sacrifices the mom to get killed by Jason to get away, and then he ends up getting killed with like a weed whacker or some shit to the stomach, and one of the weakest kills of the franchise. Isn't it the worst when you have a character in a movie that's a fucking asshole and you really want them to get theirs and they get the weakest kill? That's exactly what happened here. So anyways, we lead into this very final act, which is, I have a critique about it, but it's definitely the highlight of the movie. So Kane Hodder's after this girl Tina, and they kind of have the final girl chase. Now, what I don't like about this movie, I really dislike this, but it's also a cool thing. She uses her telekinesis to fight off Jason, which is cool and all. I'll explain why. I'll tell you right now, the stunt work that that Kane Hodder does is absolutely amazing. Another reason to respect the guy, that he does his own stunts. But what I didn't like about it, it's like there was no risk, there was no tension, because it's like she just runs 10 feet, and he's after, runs 10 feet, and she goes and hits him with something, and then he goes down. He gets back up, he appears again, little jump scare, oh, he's back again, oh no, runs another 15 feet, 20 feet, oh, telekinesis, boom, gets him again. It's like, well, what the fuck, man? There's like no struggle, I guess. That was the fun part about these movies in the past, like the ones prior to this, like against just an average woman or an average guy, it's like Jason is an animal, he's a monster. I guess now they zombie Jason, you got to fight fire with fire, and I respect that they were trying something different. But this movie was a struggle for me to get through. You know, it's mostly Kane Hodder's stunt work that makes this likable. It's like I don't really like a lot of things she's doing to him. Like in the beginning, like when she first runs from him, she telekinesis, she takes an electrical wire, it hits the puddle of mud he's standing in, puddle of mud. She fucking hates me. Yeah, she fucking hates Jason. God damn it. Electrocutes him, he goes down. He's back after her again. She picks up a plant with her mind, hits him in the head, he's down. He's coming outside after she drops the whole awning on him. He's down, which that was fucking cool. The whole roof of the deck drops on him. But, you know, the whole cat and mouse thing ahead of that, you know, when she hits him with the potted plant, it takes off his mask. That's pretty cool because it's the coolest looking Jason zombified. His face, the makeup looks cool. Much better than the next movie, I'll say ahead of time. So now we got a maskless Jason. I like the scene where they're in the basement and she uses the gasoline and everything with her mind, of course, lights him on fire. Kane Hodder just running around for, seems like forever, lit on fire until he goes down. Right before that, you know, they're up the steps. She uses her telekinesis to knock him down. He falls through the steps. I know this is all out of order. You know, he gets electrocuted, pot to the face, through the steps, on fire in the basement, then comes outside and has the roof drop on him. But those are pretty cool stunts. The fire stunt, the stair stunts, when he falls through the stairs to the basement, and when the whole deck falls on him. What a badass, Kane Hodder. That's probably the biggest reason to watch this movie, honestly, is the effects on Jason himself and the stunts that Kane Hodder does. And he really owns this role, I'll tell you that. The way he moves, the way he walks, badass motherfucker right there. You know, I've had a chance to meet him a couple times at some conventions, and I haven't yet because he's usually there most every year. The years I've gone, I thought each year I say, I'll get him next time. I think next year at Motor City Nightmares, I got to meet Kane Hodder, man. It's about time. But anyways, they finally take Jason out where they're on the dock. He comes after Tina one more time, and reminiscent of part 1, 2, 3, we have somebody jump out of the water and pull them down beneath. And it's like a ghost or something of Tina's dad pulls Jason back down and saves her. And she faints and passes out, and we wake up in the morning when her and her new boyfriend are being taken away in the ambulance, and Jason is dead once again. That's it. So other than that, the most interesting thing, you know, besides beneath the layers of Kane Hodder, like story-wise, the most interesting thing is Tina with the telekinesis powers, which in my opinion isn't very interesting. I didn't care for it too much. And the fact that this movie ends with the dad jumping out of the water and pulling Jason down to save his daughter, it's like, hooray! The drunk guy who beats his wife is our hero. Like, what the fuck? So this movie's fine. Like, I think there's a difference in some of these movies where every one of these movies is a good popcorn movie with your friends. You could just throw on. But I think there's a difference between a popcorn movie and one you could just sit and watch by yourself. And I think that's the border on what makes a movie in general a good film. You know, which there's lots of things that can make a film good. But if you watch it by yourself and you're that bored, and just, that's how this one did it for me. Just really didn't hit, you know. And Oh, and I almost forgot. I need to mention the bitchy girl. Her dying. Her. I know I'm going all the way back, but I didn't want to forget this. It just popped in my head. She takes an axe straight to the face, and then Jason throws her stunt work straight across the room, head first, over the TV. That was pretty cool. She got hers, so at least we got that. You know, we got an alcoholic wife beater that's the hero, but at least the bitchy girl got killed, so that was cool, I guess. But anyways, I'm rambling at this point. This movie's just okay. I don't hate it, but I think, like I said before, when you're watching these all back to back, you tend to judge them and compare them to the rest, which is good because I'm going to do my ranking next Friday, so be ready for that one. But anyways, this is just okay. The characters are forgettable. I think the plot's kind of stupid. It kind of looks like a straight to DVD movie at times, but it is what it is. I like that they tried to be ambitious a bit, but besides the look of Jason and Kane Hodder's performance and stunt works, there's not much redeemable about this film, in my opinion. But anyways, with that being said, just okay. So, yeah, like I said, things are going to get pretty interesting from here on out. Tomorrow we're going to review Jason 8, the final movie from the Paramount franchise. I can't say franchise. The Paramount movies, they did 8 of them. And then everything's batshit crazy after that with Jason Goes to Hell, which, I'm totally looking forward to watching that one. And then Jason X, Jason in Space, Freddy vs. Jason. But anyways, that's my review of this. Be sure to check out my other reviews I put out before this and tune in tomorrow and every day leading forward to the end of the week if you want to see the rest of the reviews. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Blood Guts Gore. I'll check you guys next time.